All right. Let's start recording. Okay. I'm live. I think. If I'm not, oh well. Still learning. Today I'm just gonna go through the game that I'm releasing soon. I'm an aspiring game dev, and so I thought that the best path forward was to, in my spare time, make a little arcade game. It's a clone of a very popular game, just to see how hard it is to actually finish something. I'm not very good at completing the projects I start, so I'm really happy with this one because I feel like I'm like right there at the edge, almost done with the game, and I wanted to show it off a little bit. So yeah, let's get into it. The first thing I need to note is that it is programmer art still in in many aspects. Some things are done. The background is pretty much done. I think I might change the colors a little bit, but and I also probably will draw another transparent background thing like these balls. But the concept remains. It'll look like this. This logo, I need to tweak the colors and I need to make it glow. You can kind of tell these icons are glowing. The logo will do the same, just the slight glow behind. And so anyway, this is it. This is Droppy Ball. I'm going to release it for mobile and Steam at a minimum. I might do Mac and Linux at some point, but primarily it's going to be Windows, Android, and iOS. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to document the process of releasing it to the respective stores. But yeah, I mean, this is very simple. I'm not going to name drop the game that this is based on, but if you've seen it, you know it. It's a very basic physics dropping balls game. Oh, so this is the programmer art. Up here in the top left corner, these two balls side by side are showcasing what the balls are going to look like when it's done. They're going to glow, and I'm showing how the glow will like overlap and not look janky. But for now, they're just colored PNGs. They'll be a little more detailed in the future. I've got to balance it first. That's just an idea I had, which was, well, okay, actually, let's get into it. I am probably the least comfortable with the art. So art takes me a little bit. I think I'm actually a pretty good artist. This obviously is not showcasing any of my art skills. That's gonna come in my future game that I make. That's gonna be a more traditional RPG. But it just takes me a while, and it's like really low motivation for me to do the art because I'm a programmer, and so I'm just way more comfortable coding. So my code is nice, it works, does a great job. But the art, every time I finish it, I'm like, does this work? Am I gonna have to change it? Am I gonna have to go through that whole pipeline again of starting fresh and reworking this whole single asset, So it's hard for me. It's hard to stay motivated on the art, and so that's why I've procrastinated the balls to the very end, to make sure that I know the exact size that they need to be and the exact color. So that's coming later. But anyway, for now, this is what it looks like. You drop the balls. It's just using normal physics. I've got some pop sounds, which is kind of nice. I think they're pretty snappy. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. The balls combine, they give you a score. So the little balls, when they combine, give like 1, I think. Yeah, so I got 1 point. When you combine multiple in a row, you get a combo streak. So if I do this, you see the little 2 and the 3x pop up. It multiplies the score. Very simple. This is a very, very simple game, but I wanted it to be really good, even though it was simple. I don't know if I really achieved that, but I'm very happy with it. And I have often found myself, when like testing new features that I just added, I'll just like play a whole round because the game is fun. And in the end, that I think is the most important part, right? You got to make a game that you think is fun. And anyway, while I'm in testing mode, I can just like spam balls to like test things out, but that's not what it's going to normally look like. Let's dive into the code so I can show off. Oh, that icon is also placeholder art right now. I haven't done that icon. But yeah, let's dive into the code. I'm going to show off the cooldown. It should be in the dropper track. Nope. Drop track. Where's my drop? It should be right here. Don't drop the ball if they're in cooldown. Here, this is how I can fix it. Oh no, I can't. Dang it. We'll do this. I think that'll work. All right, so I added a nice animation. I think if that worked, then this ball will animate to the dropper. Oh, it didn't work. All right. Oh, no. I do want that. What? Okay. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Live coding. This is literally a first for me. Let's just look up this. os dot is debug build. Yep, okay. That is one of the locations. Yeah, okay, it's this one. So I just need to do this. Okay. So now I think it'll animate. Okay, well, I'll have to show that off later because it's just, I don't know where it is. Or maybe I just broke it somehow. I didn't know. But anyway, let's show off some more. Okay, so when you're in here, when you're playing the game, you can click here to see the high score that you're trying to beat. It's got a little heat map, so as you get closer to that score, you get like redder and redder and then greener and greener until you've passed the score. Oh, oops. There's game over. That's not working. Great. Yeah, so anyway, like the closer you get to the score, the hotter you get. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it to 1300 with the spam method. Nope. Yeah, see, I just keep launching them out. All right. Well, anyway, you get the idea. the latest thing that I added, so this is going to be a save and quit button, but the latest thing I added was that there's this continue button, although I think this will change because I think it's unclear what's happening here. I think it looks like you'll be able to add a save file if you press the plus button, but what actually it's doing is it's overriding your current game and starting a new one. So I'm gonna probably do like a trash icon. Maybe the trash icon will be here, so it's like you're deleting your old save, and then the play icon will be here, and that'll be to continue the save. I don't know. And I'm gonna remove the outline, I think. I don't think the outline matters. Maybe even make this snapshot a little bit bigger, because on phones that's probably gonna be a speck. Anyway, lots still to consider. Setting screen. Let's see. One thing that's interesting is to think about is on desktop, people can resize, right? Technically, with a Godot app, you can prevent resizing, but there are like tricks you can do, like you can hack it so that you can always resize it. So I had to account for resizing. So like if you're in a game before, when resizing, it would move this box around, it'd move it side to side, and that would shift the balls side to side, and so you could kind of cheat it. But now it just looks terrible until you exit and re-enter, and then it's centered again. So anyway, I had to like account for little things like that. Also, full screen works, and I think looks pretty good. Oh, that's funny. The snapshot looks different. Oh, that's cool. I just recently added the snapshot thing. Oh shoot, it's way laggy. Is that because I'm streaming? It might be because I'm streaming. But in full screen mode, it's way laggy. I might need to look into that. I'm gonna keep a list of notes of things I find while showing this off. One sec. Where's my stickies? There we go. Game is really laggy. In full screen mode. Due to streaming. Okay. You can see your top scores here and your all-time high, and then your recent scores. That's pretty much it. It's a very simple game. I'm really excited about it because I've never released a game before. I think it'll be really fun to play. I think people will like it. This is my little logo down here, Mojo. This is my debug stuff. So I could put like whatever size ball I want in here. That was the point of that. I gotta exit full screen. Ooh, I need it. Okay, hang on. It's another bug. I need... Well, I guess Alt F4 works, right? I probably don't need a... Yeah, Alt F4 works. Alright, I don't need an exit button for full screen. Okay, so that's it. I kind of want to go into the code a little bit though, so we're gonna dive into this. For those of you who also do Godot and don't know about this, you can have an external editor. Use external editor, and I'm using NeoVim. I have joined the TJ and Primogen cult, and I'm on NeoVim. It's a lot of fun, and it's made my coding a lot faster for Godot specifically. I have a lot more access to like nice shortcuts and stuff than in the Godot editor. So yeah, we're gonna be in NeoVim for the next little bit. Sorry if it's like a little hard to follow my cursor. Actually, can I zoom in? Oh, I can zoom in. All right, perfect. So that should be a little bit easier to follow. Let's start at the globals. Actually, let's go back here. Show the globals. I have a bunch of globals going on. This is obviously just for debugging, so it won't exist in the release builds. But the key globals are just my global class, which I probably should rename, the ball manager, the background, and the audio manager. So let's go through those real quick. First, this is global. What I should probably rename it to is like save manager or something, because what it does is it saves all the scores, it saves the current game state and the current game snapshot. Oh, this is probably a good time to mention I don't really like the underscore convention, because there's actually technically no private in GDScript. So like you can do this to make something private, right? Like, or like mark it as private. But the problem with that is that like in most languages, when you have something that's private, you just do like private const, ASDF. And then you can use it wherever, or sorry, you use it within the file, right? But then when you want to make it public, you just do a little bit of this, right? But in the case of like GDScript with this convention, this underscore convention, you'd have to change every instance. And there's no like mass replace. I mean, I guess there is, but it doesn't, I don't know, it's not super reliable in GDScript. Maybe I should just like get better at macros in NeoVim. But anyway, so I've stopped using the underscore. So you can see like when old variables are still around, they got the underscore, but new ones they don't. It's because you can just use them like they're public. So it's better to just like comment on them or something. Anyway, rant over. I'm really bad at this. All right. So anyway, this global file should probably just be the like save manager, because that's pretty much what it does. I mean, it has like useful like utility functions like this, like is desktop, is web, is touchscreen, stuff like that. Game started, right? Like I just keep track here of when the game screen is active, basically. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, it's all about it loads scores and it saves scores, loads the save state, saves the save state. Very basic stuff. What is this? Oh, this was I didn't realize that this was still in here. Basically what this does is it adapts the window to the size of your screen. So right now, my game is 720 by 1280 because I'm targeting mobile. But on desktop, 1280 is bigger than a 1080p monitor, right? Which is that's like what most people use. And so it would scale it down to 1080p, basically. That's what this does. It works pretty well, I think. I can't show it off here because I have a 2K monitor. But yeah, that works pretty well. Oh, this is my little FPS text. Pretty simple stuff. This was an interesting problem that I had to solve. When you're on mobile, there's like system nav bars, or like there's like the status bar at the top and the nav bar at the bottom for both systems. And but when you run your app, let's see if it's in the export. So right here in Android, I do what's called immersive mode. So it hides the navigation and the status bar. And so your app shows like pretty much beyond, like this is what it'll look like on the phone too. Like it goes all the way to the edge of the screen on the phone. So you'll have your little cutout up here or whatever. And so what you have to do is you have to get that display safe area, which is, you know, beneath, like lower than the cutout basically, and the nav bar, and or like above the nav bar, and then you have to scale it because your app won't be scaled perfectly to the screen. Specifically on like a Pixel 6, it's not 720 by 1280. It's more like 720 by 1400, and so it scales up to that. And so you have to basically get the scale and then set the margins accordingly. And so this is my system for that. It took a while to figure this out, but it's nice and simple now. Let's get to the meat of this, though. Yeah, so this is the important stuff. So this is how I load scores. I have a file, leaderboard file, and I can read it if it exists, right? If it doesn't exist, return. And then I get the data line by line. And in this case, I'm doing a JSON object of these variables. Let's see, I think it's down at the bottom. No. Nope. Save scores? Nope, it must be in save state. Nope. I don't know where the scores are. Leaderboard file. There we go. Oh, this is... No. There we go. So this is what the JSON looks like. It's just really simple. But it saves it in one line when you do this. So when you're reading it, you just read the first line. So this is why I said this file should only be one line, but I like the way it sets it up in the sample, right? So like if you look it up on the GDScript website, they set it up in a while loop, which I think is just, you know, that's just a good method. Maybe I can change this later. Gotta remember to close your file and then set my high score. Okay, and this is the loading of the game. So let's go to the save state. First of all, I'm saving the little snapshot image, which this is the latest thing I added. I think it's really cool. But importantly, I am seeding the randomization. And so I have to store the random seed and the random state that I'm at, so that people can't cheese it, right? So like theoretically people could like exit and re-enter and re-trigger their random ball that's like their next ball or whatever if they don't like it, but now they can't because I've seeded it. So this is how I do the storing of the balls. There's this thing called get nodes in group. And so if we go to here, actually, I can't remember how to get this ball. If I go here, is it this? Oh yeah, okay, so you go to node groups. And so this ball is in the ball group. And so you get all the balls. Ooh, I could turn this into... Oh, okay. Well, we're just checking for node at first, and then we check for ball. So if it's not a ball, continue. Don't save it. If it's queued for deletion, so this happens because when you get rid of a ball. So let's go to the ball manager, combine. We do this, ball 1, ball 2, queue free. This is a way to like, it's pretty much to say asynchronously get rid of the ball. In fact, we can go to the documentation. Queues this node to be deleted at the end of the current frame. Unlike free, the node is not deleted instantly and can still be accessed before deletion. I don't know if I need that though. I've just always been told to use queue free. I might have to research why. But anyway, so that's why I check if it's queued for deletion, because I don't want those to be saved. Scene file path is empty. This I just got from the Godot online example. I don't really know what it means. Has method save. I probably don't need to check for this because I've already checked that it's a ball, and ball has the method save on it. And basically what it does is it just returns a dictionary or a JSON object of the data that I need. So I save the size, which is, I have this ball data class up here. And so the size is essentially the index, right? So it's, you know, new 0. So this is index 0. And this is basically like a global, I mean, it's not really a global list, but I mean, we're in the ball manager, which is a global. And so the ball manager processes all of this. Anyway, save data, save, stringify, store it. So that's how we save the save file. And then to load it, hope it's just called load save. Oh my goodness. I need to tighten up. Okay, load game is what it's called. I need to tighten up my terminology. If not file access, file exists, current game, save file not found. Good. Otherwise, get the save data. So we get the seed, the RNG state, etc. I'm checking the type of the data. Probably unnecessary because I completely control this, but maybe, I don't know, maybe if it's been tampered or something, it's worth checking to just delete. Like basically what it does is it gets rid of their save because it's been tampered with. I'm not like too worried about cheating in this game. I feel like I want to be, like part of me wants to be worried about like if people are like posting scores and it like becomes a thing that the cheaters would just have their way with it, but I'm not going to care. It's my first game. It's such a small project. I'm not caring. All right, so this is how to read the balls. I have this get data function, which just creates a JSON of the string passed. It just creates a variant. Variant is a keyword in Godot. Like it says right here, the most important data type in Godot. It basically is the any type, the star type. And so you can store anything in it, but in my case, I'm storing a JSON save data. I have this create ball function, and I pass it the size. So it gets the data, or it gets the ball from in this list I was showing off earlier. And then I apply the velocity to it, because if you've just dropped the ball, you need to store this velocity, or if an explosion happens, like the balls combined and they're exploding outward, we need to get back into that state. We put it back where it was, which is just the parent in the tree. And then in the case of the dropper, so if we go, let's go to my game and just show what this looks like. So the dropper is this, and then the next ball is up here in the top left. So those need to be what they were before. I think that just failed, by the way. I think this score is wrong. I mean, it has to be. So I need to fix that. I don't know what I did. I don't need to write a note. I think that's a pretty obvious fix. There's a little explosion force I didn't show off earlier. But yeah, so like now in this state, if I save and quit, which again, this is placeholder button, it should be this pink ball and that orange ball up there. So pink ball, orange ball in the little snapshot, pink ball, orange ball. So everything's back. So that's basically what's happening here. And then, I already went through save state. Okay, I think that's about it for this section. Let's go to the ball manager. This is in charge of creating balls, managing the combination of the balls, and thus showing the combo particle. Oh, I also had a pop animation that I've commented out. I got some feedback that it kind of sucked. Let's see what you guys think. Why didn't it show? Oh no, I think I know what it is. Yep. Okay. So there's the animation. I mean, I can make a better one, and I could scale it better to the ball, but apparently no one really liked it. I'm super happy to not have to use it, so I'm probably not going to. I feel like the pop sounds are good enough. I think they sound pretty sweet. So anyway, we're gonna just comment it out for now. But the combo particles are sweet. It just shows a little text that goes out at a random direction. Yeah, so we change the color. Actually, do I change the color? I don't change the color. I was going to, based on the ball. Or maybe, oh no. Yeah, I was going to change it based on the ball size, but I didn't do that. And so I probably can just remove this now. Anyway, but it does change the font size based on the combo. So when you get like a really big combo, let's see if I can emulate it. Yeah, I don't know. The 4 was kind of big. Nope. There we go. We're getting some big. Oh yeah, look at that. The 12, 13, 14. Yeah, so it gets really big. I've gotten up to like 20 once. I think they look cool. And they just fade out. They have a random rotation, random like move direction. And then I also have to take these combo particles and delete them later. I don't remember where I do that in the code, but I do it. I store it in a list. Let's see. Combo particle emit combo. Do I not have no, I don't know what this is. This might be old code. I need to, wow, we're really auditing the code here. Bad code review. New ball. So this is where I create a ball, Oh, actually, sorry. This is in the combination function. I'm going to go over this later. First, we're going to talk about the queue. So this is a system where I can store the collision events in a queue, and that way I can check if those balls still exist, because otherwise, like, it would be the balls handling the collisions, and like it's hard to pick which one goes first. But in this case, it's a queue, and so it's first in, first out. So the first event added to the queue happens first, and then the second event happens, and if any of those balls don't exist anymore, so they're queued for deletion, then we don't do it. We don't do the event. We don't combine them. And so this was the way to basically just eliminate a lot of bugs that I had before. Push collision gets called in the ball when a body enters. If it's not queued for deletion, and it's a ball, and it's the same size, then push it on the queue, right? And really simple. I like this system. I thought it was great. So then the combination happens, and we get the data. We just get it from the first ball because both balls should be the same size. And then I don't remember why parent is necessary. I don't remember why that's necessary. That might be old code again. Nope, there it is, parent. Oh, because we have to add the child to that parent. Right, so you create a new ball that's size +1, and then you add it in between. So this new position is just basically like right in between the two balls previously. So we'll go back here. You'll kind of see that the ball appears in the middle of this collision and then falls. Let's see. Kind of hard to tell. Everything happens pretty fast. You could tell there. That was good. Nice. Oh, this is also somewhat new, the audio manager. Let's go over that next, because everything else is pretty straightforward. You add a score, and you save the state. I have to save the state after every pop, because otherwise you could like cancel out and retry, which we don't want. That's like my only thing I tried to do to prevent cheating, I guess. I don't know. It's just seeding and saving the state often. It happens so fast. I wonder if I'm going to run into some latency issues on mobile with that, but anyway, let's go over the audio manager. Audio is cool in Godot. There's this little tab down here. You can create buses. So there's the master bus, which is just all volume. And then there's the custom buses that I've added. One for music, which, as you've probably noticed, doesn't exist yet. I have not done the music. But I don't know. I'm going to work with my brother on that. That's another area where I'm capable, but not motivated to do the art for that. SFX is another bus, and you saw that in my little sliders here. Again, I don't know what I did to the text there. That's a mistake of some sort. But yeah, you can change the volumes, and it updates the bus, the output for the bus. And so I have, as you can see, I had a bunch of pop sounds, but only 2 of them really sounded any good in the game. And so I'm just alternating between these 2. Well, not alternating, but I'm randomly picking one of these 2 to play, and then I am tweaking the pitch. Where is it? down here. So I pick a random one from the list. I change its pitch scale between 0.8 and 1.2, so I'm pitching it up or down a little bit, and then I play it, and that's it. Nice and simple. I was very happy with the way that Godot does audio, at least so far. I haven't done the music yet, but yeah, very happy with the pop sounds too. They turned out okay. Nice. Every time. Oh yeah. By the way, those are just mouth sounds. I'm a little ghetto on that one, I guess, but it's fun. It sounds good. All right. The last. Okay, let's go through the last globals. What was the other one? Oh, background. Yeah, let's go through the background. I have a gradient that I just hard coded in the editor. So let's go. Wait. Background. It's this one. So there's this gradient that I've set up that just, it's a rainbow, you know, I'm pretty clever with that one. And it parallaxes. So I had to do this thing where I like duplicated it 5 times. I did that because of full screen. So when the game's in full screen, it's going to be a lot wider. But basically it scrolls up. You can see that. Is it showing? No, it's not showing. But yeah, you can see. Oh, I guess it goes down. Right. Droppy ball. So it's going down. It's just a scrolling background. And then there's also this gradient that applies. So these are just white. But then I do 2 gradients. But one of them has this canvas item material, and it's in the multiply blend mode. And so that's how we're getting this nice little like fade effect. Because otherwise it's just this. But with the multiply, then it multiplies this, and this together, which is very cool. I'm glad I figured it out. I figured out how to do that. And I am not changing it. So that is the final product. No notes are being accepted at this time. Pretty simple code for moving it every frame, basically. I do not remember what this does. Wrap F. Wraps the float between min and max. Oh, yeah, okay, so it creates a loop, like, so that's the loop. Between 0 and 1. Okay, yeah. I think I'm kind of just getting to the point where I'm rambling too much and not really providing any value. I guess maybe that was how it was going all along. We'll see. I'll probably wrap this up into a little devlog later, cut up the clips. So let's talk about the history of this game and maybe the future a little bit. So first off, this game started about a year and a half ago on a whim. I was just starting to get into game dev, and I was talking to some friends about like how easy would it be to make certain games. We were playing the game that this one is based on, and I was like, yeah, I bet I could make that. And so the next day I went and I made it, right? I made the first version of this game, and honestly, it worked pretty well. I made it within like a day. So a lot of the code that goes into this is nice and simple, right? Like the combination of the balls wasn't too hard to make. The scoring wasn't too hard. Even the colors weren't too hard to just add in editor. But I kept going on it for, lightly. I would spend like an hour a week, maybe. Hour every 2 weeks, something like that, working on it. And I was making a little progress here and there, but that's when I started realizing like there's a lot more that goes into a game than just working, right? Like the game worked. It was fun. I could put it on other people's phones. But it looked bad. The juice wasn't there, like the popping. Oh, that's nice. That didn't exist. And also like it, I mean, I don't know, just there's so much more, right? Like I had to create all these menus, all these assets, like this pause button even, right? Like I didn't even have a pause button that looked like this. Like I had to create all of this stuff from scratch. And like there were various crashes, like it was a bunch of stuff. I finally got serious on this at the end of last year. So about a year into the project, I was like, man, this is just taking me forever. I'm just like refactoring over and over. I'm not making any progress. And so I gave it a good effort. I actually rewrote the whole thing. And that's where the ball manager came from, because a lot of my bugs had to do with the balls managing the collisions themselves. And so now I've got this ball manager. It fixes all those bugs. And I was feeling a lot better because basically it wasn't crashing very much. It worked great. And the code was clean. So I was more motivated, right? But then I was also just like that's where basically this year I was like, yeah, I'm going to actually start making a real game, right? Obviously this is a real game. What I mean by real game is like, what do I mean by real game? Basically in this case is my brother and I are going to make an adventure RPG of some sort. Anyway, so I was going to start that this year, and I am going to this summer. That's part of why I'm streaming. It's because I'm going to start promoting that game. But anyway, yeah, got serious about this in November, December time. I even thought that I would be able to finish the game and release it over Christmas break. Clearly I was wrong. I had a completely different aesthetic back then. It was going to be called Rainbow Drop. Obviously because of the rainbow. But it like had this cutesy vibe, like little Mario hills in the background, and like a little cloud that was your dropper with little smiley face. And just, I hated it. I don't know. I wanted it to be like just this little neon game, I guess. So I completely changed the aesthetic, went for a more minimalistic style, and then I had a friend who's an artist help me out with coming up with this glow effect that will soon be in the game. I'm a little embarrassed that it's not in the game, but you know, we'll get there. And so I did that. And so over the last 6 months, that's what I've been doing. So basically, like, this project has existed for about 6 months with the rewrite and everything, and the reskin. And also I took like a 2-month break in April and May. But anyway, we're back at it. And that's the history of this. It's hard to make games. That's the point. That's the moral of this story. It is hard. It's surprisingly difficult. It's the age-old, you know, this is a programmer adage, I guess, which is that the first 90% of the project takes 90% of the time. The last 10% of the project takes the other 90% of the time. It's obviously a little cliche to say stuff like that, but it proves true time and time again. And it has never been more true for this project. Like I said, this thing worked pretty much day one. It's just making it look good, making it feel good, and, you know, getting it ready for actual devices. That's the tough stuff. And I'm glad that I'm finally pretty much there. This works on Android devices. I actually have a few test devices here, and I especially have some low-end devices. I wanted to target those because, I don't know, I feel like Godot's got to be lightweight. It's got to work on a low-end device. It would kill me if it didn't, I guess. I would feel like my code is bad. But I've tested, I get 60 frames on low-end devices, like terrible processors. So we're getting there. I'm very happy at the progress of this game. Very excited for the future of releasing it. I hope I can get some traction by releasing a game and starting to promote my next game. Well, actually, I don't know if that's going to be my next game, but I'm going to at least start it, see what people are excited about. I don't know. I mean, the dream is to be a game developer, right? That's why I went into computer science. That's why I'm a programmer. I just took a detour through the tech business side of things. So hopefully I can make this work. I will say it has been super fun to work on this project. Like, even though it's a grind and like the art is killing me a little bit, just, you know, with not being comfortable doing it, it has been wonderful. I have so much fun with it. I've found myself, you know, rather making games than playing games. And so that's something that I didn't think was possible. Anyway, that's gonna be it for today. Again, I'll probably release this as a YouTube video, but expect more streams from me. I'm gonna try to be somewhat consistent, even if it's just for like an hour to 2 hours here and there. It'll be in the mornings before work. But yeah, that's it. I don't think anyone even joined the stream. Yeah, I didn't get any viewers. That's fine. I'll work on my visibility at some other time, when I have a little bit more time. But for now, all right, for now, that's it.